Well, hello Internet, and welcome to part 2 of my low-fat vegan recipes. Today I'm going to show you how to make no-fry refried beans, zero-fat tortillas, zero-fat Mexican rice, and polenta with mushroom sauce. And I have a lot to make, so let's get into it. To make your non-fat refried beans, you're first going to soak 3 cups of pinto beans overnight, and then you're going to get a whole onion, and it doesn't really matter how much you chop it up. Then get yourself a half of a jalapeno, remove all the seeds, and throw that into the pot, and then we're going to be adding 9 cups of water. You'll be boiling this for 1 to 1.5 hours at 50% on your stovetop, and then add 2 tablespoons of garlic and you're ready to go. Now it's time to make the no-fat tortillas, and I'm going to start off with 2 cups of white flour. You can use whole wheat flour, but I just like the white flour considerably better. Every once in a while I'll switch it around. Do whatever you'd like, of course. And then to that, you're going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of regular old baking powder. And then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. You can use pretty much whatever salt you have on hand. And then you're going to blend this up until everything is very well mixed. And then you'll get 3/4 of a cup of warm water and slowly add that in as it's mixing. And then when it's done, it's going to look exactly like this. I then remove it and put it into another pan, and you can see exactly what it looks like. You might want to knead it a little bit here and there. And then you'll get a dishcloth that has been rinsed in warm water and place it over the dough and let it sit for about 2 hours. And now it's time to get back the refried beans. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and you're going to drain about 3/4 of the water that is in the beans. Of course, this is after they've been cooked and put into the food processor. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, or 2 teaspoons. It really depends upon your taste. And then the final ingredient is ground cumin. We're going to put 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cumin, and this is really the refried bean taste that you taste. And then we're going to blend this until everything is very smooth. And then after everything is all blended up, you can just warm this up on the stove and it will be ready to eat. And now it's time to cook the tortillas. I took all that dough and broke it into 8 even pieces, and then I rolled those out with a rolling pin, just like this. And then on my stove in a pan, I set the pan to 60%, and then I'm going to throw those tortillas in there, and whenever they start to puff up, I'm going to push them down, and then I'm going to flip them until they are done. And now to finish up our meal, I'm going to get 1 cup of rice. I have a little bit of water in there, and this pan is set on high, and I'm just going to stir it in there just to get the rice a little bit covered with the water. Then I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and then 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt, and then 1/2 of a teaspoon of ground cumin. And then I'm going to stir this until the rice is completely covered with all the spices and looks kind of golden. The idea here is to have sort of a dry rice. And then after that's all stirred up, I'm going to add 1/2 of a cup of tomato sauce and then 1.5 cups of vegetable stock. However, during the cooking process, you're probably going to have to add in another 1/2 cup, and then 1 tablespoon of cilantro is going to finish off everything. And then I just stir that up and then turn the stovetop down to 20% and put the lid on and let it cook for 20 to 25 minutes. And after 25 minutes, your Spanish rice is ready to eat. And here is everything when it's ready to go. And now I'm going to make the polenta with mushroom sauce. To make the mushroom sauce, I'm going to get 1/4 of a cup of water, 10 ounces of sliced mushrooms, and 1/2 of an onion, and add that to a pan. I have 1/4 of a cup of dried mushrooms that I soaked in warm water, 3 cups of warm water. I'm going to remove those mushrooms and chop those up, and then I'm going to add those also to the pan. And then I'll add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, as well as 3 tablespoons of either liquid aminos or soy sauce. And then we're going to constantly stir that for approximately 5 minutes until it's done. Now the vegetables have been cooking for about 4 minutes, and I'm going to get the 3 cups of reserved liquid that had the dried mushrooms in them. And then to that, I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm then going to take a whisk, and I'm going to whisk that until all of the lumps are gone, just like this. You want to make sure you get all those lumps out of there, and this is going to act as a thickening agent. And then I'm going to add that to my mushrooms and my other vegetables, and of course I'm going to whisk that until it gets a darker brown color. You're going to know it when you see it. It's going to take right around 40 seconds, 50 seconds. And then we're also going to be cooking our polenta. The basic cooking recipe for polenta is get 4 cups of water and boil it, and then you're going to add 1 cup of polenta and 1 teaspoon of salt, and you're just going to stir it like crazy till it's done. Well, I hope you guys enjoy these recipes as much as I enjoy eating them. Of course, all of the directions are in the description underneath the video, and please leave your questions and comments below. Otherwise, till next time.